In the heart of Paris, inside the world's most secure museum, thieves pulled off a crime so perfect it looked like a movie. But this wasn't fiction, this was real. And it happened inside the Louvre, home to the Mona Lisa, the crown jewels of France, and now, the scene of one of the most daring robberies in modern history. On October 19th, 2025, Paris woke up to headlines no one could believe. The Louvre Museum, a global symbol of art and heritage, had been robbed in broad daylight. At exactly 9:30 a.m., as tourists began queuing under the glass pyramid, a group of men disguised as construction workers rolled up to the museum's riverside wall. Wearing reflective jackets, helmets, and gloves, they blended perfectly with morning maintenance crews. Using a basket lift truck, the kind used for moving furniture, they quietly raised themselves toward a second-floor balcony on the museum's same-facing side. Within moments, they sliced through the glass window using industrial cutting tools and slipped inside, undetected. The thieves knew exactly where to go. Their target, the Gallery d'Apollon, the glittering hall that holds France's imperial crown jewels, some dating back to Napoleon's empire. Inside the Louvre's Gallery d'Apollon, the silence was sacred, the kind of silence only ancient art and priceless jewels can hold. But that silence was about to shatter. The thieves had planned their timing to perfection. At precisely 4:52 a.m., motion sensors inside the gallery flickered, tiny red dots blinking in the dark. But instead of sounding alarms, the signal looped into static. Someone had cut the power feed. Someone who knew the system. Moving like shadows, the thieves wore matte black jumpsuits, night vision goggles, and noise-dampening boots. Each carried a compact toolkit, sledgehammers, diamond-tipped drills, and portable angle grinders. The smell of burning metal soon filled the air as sparks burst from glass and steel. The display cases, once glowing with elegance, exploded into fragments of shattered safety glass. The room glittered in chaos, reflections of diamonds, emeralds, and gold scattering across the marble floor. Security guards on the night shift heard the first sound, a dull mechanical hum, from 2 corridors away. When they reached the gallery, they froze. Before them stood 3 masked men, moving with terrifying calm. One operated the grinder, another carefully placed jewels into black duffel bags, and the third stood near the entrance, listening through an earpiece. The guards, unarmed and untrained for such a scenario, could do little more than retreat. They radioed for help, but the internal comms were already jammed. The leader of the crew, believed to be a former military tactician, checked his watch. They had less than 2 minutes left. He signaled a team, and each man moved to a different case. They avoided large pieces that were too traceable. No famous paintings, no identifiable artifacts. Only portable royal jewelry, small, valuable, and impossible to track once melted down or reset into new designs. The emerald and diamond tiara of Empress Eugenie, a pearl and diamond necklace, and a ruby brooch once gifted by Napoleon III were among the first to disappear into the bags. They worked with surgeon-like precision. No wasted motion, no panic, no noise beyond the crackling of glass and the whir of the drill. In exactly 6 minutes and 47 seconds, they had cleared the targeted showcases. Then, one of the thieves looked up. A security camera on the far wall turned slightly, as if someone had noticed them remotely. The leader gave a brief nod, and the team moved instantly to exit. They left no fingerprints, no footprints, and not a single word spoken between them. The entire operation felt less like a robbery and more like a choreographed performance. Outside, the Paris morning was still cloaked in a gray-blue haze. 2 motorcycles, black and unregistered, were waiting in the alley behind the museum. The thieves moved swiftly, blending into the silence of dawn. When they emerged from the Louvre service gate, not a single passerby noticed them. Just 2 riders with backpacks, heading toward the Pont du Carrousel bridge, engines muffled, tires wet from the early dew. By the time the police sirens echoed through the courtyard, the city had already swallowed them. Witnesses later described seeing 2 bikes darting through the traffic near the Seine River, disappearing into the heartbeat of Paris. Inside the Louvre, chaos reigned. Security teams flooded the gallery, stepping over broken glass and shattered displays. The air smelled of burnt plastic and dust. Curators arrived within minutes, some in tears, staring at the empty mounts where history once glittered. Within an hour, the entire museum went into lockdown. Forensic teams swept through the gallery, marking footprints, scanning for DNA, and reviewing hours of CCTV. But every recording of the incident showed the same thing: a flicker, a static blur, then nothing. Someone had erased the digital trail with the same precision they used to cut through reinforced glass. Authorities described the heist as executed with military precision. There were no alarms triggered, no direct witnesses inside the gallery, and no immediate trace of entry or exit. Even the direction of escape, through maintenance corridors known only to staff, hinted at inside knowledge. By sunrise, international media had arrived. The Louvre's glass pyramid reflected flashing blue lights and camera lenses as the story began spreading across the world. The greatest museum robbery in modern history. In total, experts estimated the loss at over 10 million euros in royal jewels, though the symbolic damage, the loss of pieces tied to France's imperial history, was far greater. What had been stolen wasn't just gold or gems, it was memory, heritage, and pride. As one curator whispered to reporters, standing beside an empty display, they didn't just steal jewels, they stole a part of France. And somewhere in the crowded streets of Paris, under the hum of morning traffic, the thieves vanished, leaving behind nothing but broken glass, unanswered questions, and a city that would never sleep the same way again. The Louvre has confirmed that 8 priceless pieces were taken, including some directly linked to the French imperial family. Among the stolen items, Empress Eugenie's emerald and diamond tiara, once worn by the wife of Napoleon III, adorned with over 1,300 diamonds and 56 emeralds. This piece symbolized France's royal legacy. Later that day, its shattered fragments were found near the museum gates. Diamond and pearl necklace of Empress Eugenie, a breathtaking necklace featuring large natural pearls, crafted in 1853. Pair of diamond earrings, elegant and rare, each diamond weighing over 20 carats. Ruby brooch, a royal gift embedded with Burmese rubies and floral goldwork. Emerald bracelet, 2 matching pieces, one later found broken on the ground near the balcony. Gold cameo pendant of Empress Eugenie, an engraved portrait of the Empress surrounded by a ring of diamonds. Jeweled cross pendant, a small yet historic sapphire and diamond cross, once owned by the Bonaparte family. Diamond tiara base frame, a golden frame from a royal tiara, stripped of its central gems, but valuable for its craftsmanship. Experts estimate their total black market value at 10 to 15 million euros, but their cultural value is truly priceless. The robbery triggered chaos in Paris. Police surrounded the Louvre, sealing all exits and deploying forensic teams. Tourists were evacuated, and the museum was shut down for 2 days. France's justice minister called it a national embarrassment. Security experts are now investigating how such a massive failure occurred in one of the most guarded museums in the world. CCTV footage revealed the full sequence, from the lift truck approaching the wall to the thieves escaping across the Seine. Paris police are still conducting an international manhunt, suspecting a highly trained European art theft syndicate. So far, only fragments of one tiara have been recovered. The rest of the jewels and the thieves have vanished. These jewels are more than just gold and gems. They're living pieces of France's history. Each stone tells a story of empires, revolutions, and love. Losing them is like losing a chapter of European heritage. Historians warn that even if the jewels are recovered, their historical purity might be lost forever, because once disassembled and sold, they can never truly be restored. The Louvre now faces global pressure to improve its security. The incident has reignited debates on whether such treasures should even remain on public display without modern protection systems. The Paris Louvre heist isn't just a robbery. It's a reminder that even in the most civilized corners of the world, greed can still outsmart art. Somewhere, perhaps hidden in a vault or dismantled across borders, lie the jewels that once sparkled in the crowns of French emperors. For now, the Louvre's lights shine a little dimmer, waiting for its lost treasures to return home.